as we have the start list here of the B final of the men's quadruple sculls. Lane 1, USA. Lane 2, Norway. Lane 3, Romania. Lane 4, Ukraine. Lane 5, Estonia. And Lane 6, Australia.
Well, there's the music. And we will have the last B final of the day, the men's quadruple sculls. One boat through to the Paris Olympics. And you can see the USA, and we'll have a lane introduction to that crew, coached by the legendary Chris Kowalski. These guys, Kevin Cardano, Liam Galloway, William Lejanovsky and Dominic Williams, tried to get into the men's 8. They've only been sculling together for a few weeks. Credit to Korzanowski, they're sculling so well. Erling Oyestatter up in the bows. Martin Helseth, who's had to deal with a knee injury. Jonas Juhl and Eric Solbakken in the stroke seats. The Romanians, Mihail Chiruta, 24-year-old, up in the bows. Andrei Sebastian Cornea, Jon Prudenau and Marian Inash. Those two from the double in Tokyo. Here are the Ukrainians. Will they make it through that 7th place? Mykola Kleshnak, Dmitry Hula, Alexander Nadotka and Ivan Dovgodko in the stroke seats. Well, the Estonians have got so much experience in the boat. Mikhail Kushtin, Alaraiha, Tonu Indriksen in the 3 seat. What an amazing career he's had. Johan Pulak in the stroke seat. Here's the Aussies, Henry Yule, David Bartolo, Jack Cleary and Caleb Antil. He's in the stroke seat, coached by Don McLachen. And 2 of those Australians have a bronze medal from Tokyo in the men's quad, so they've got to have a hope of grabbing that 7th place and direct qualification.
Well, they've all got a hope of grabbing that 7th place as we're waiting on the start. Edriksson sitting in that Estonian boat. He's already been 5 times to the Olympic Games. He's 44 years old. Will they possibly be able to qualify? This Estonian boat over here in lane 5 gets away smoothly alongside the entire field as they ease their way off the start.
As the Romanians off the start, I take Ukraine to lead. I'm not sure they'll get left a bit like their women's boat.
This is a big one for the Australian men. Here in lane 6, closest to us on screen, 45 strokes per minute. They came 4th in Lucerne with a new crew, and unfortunately, the stroke man, Caleb Watts, getting injured and not at these World Championships. So this new look boat will need to look to get a qualifying position. Otherwise, Australia will have no men's sculling boats qualified for the Games next year. But the Ukrainians currently in lane 4, taking this early race lead, but just narrowly down on them. The Aussies in lane 6, the Romanians over in lane 3.
I don't know if I saw it right, but it almost looked like the Ukrainians just shouted stride and settled into a pace, that they're down at about 39 strokes a minute. The Romanians beside them are at 44. So it's a very different look to the flow that the Ukrainians are giving it after that big start, and the Romanians beside them going bang, 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 keeping the strokes coming.
Yeah, the Ukrainians coached by Nick Chupa, former world champion for the Soviet Union. There are the Estonians, the experience of Tonu Indriksen in the 3 seats, 44 years of age.
And coming through the 500, Ukraine just narrowly heading the Australians, Romania 3rd, Estonia 4th, USA 5th, Norway in 6th. This race, in fact, tightening up in this 2nd quarter here as we ride here with the Australians, the Olympic bronze medalists, Caleb Antil and Jack Cleary in the stern of that boat.
Decent start by the Australians.
Yeah, Australians doing very well here, aren't they, on this side of the picture? We've seen the Romanians sprint it home in the men's coxless 4. I wonder whether their men's quad will be able to do something similar.
And are we seeing a bit of a move here from the USA over in lane 1? It looks like their bow coming into the picture even here as this field continues to compress in the 2nd quarter.
That's crazy. What are those guys doing up there? We were talking to their coach, Chris Korzanowski. He said they're rowers. Some of them sculled in high school, and now they're right up there in the B final. Ukraine still lead. For me, sculling really well, but they are vulnerable in the last quarter.
They are sculling very well. They're sculling very long. They're lower rating than the rest of the field, down at 37. Ukrainians beside them at 40, keeping it ticking along a little bit more. The Romanians, I think, are looking threatening. The Australians started really well. Sarah Cook will be wanting them to continue that great pace they've got, but I wonder whether they'll be able to stay up with it as we come here through the halfway marker.
What a sensational race, eh?
Well, coming through the 1,000, look at these boats locked together. You could throw a blanket over the field. It is Ukraine by 0.08 ahead of Romania, Australia 0.33 behind, Estonia 0.75 behind. Everything to play out in the second half of this race.
But it's that Romanian bow which is now showing in front. It's almost like you get that feeling, you go, let's start the race again. The Romanians have gone out, they're at 40, which is what they've been on, but are they just applying a little bit more force? They look really lovely and clean down the centre of the lane there, and I think they're moving on the field right now.
Yeah, it's been a great project, this men's quad by Antonio Colominici, putting the Olympic double in that. Prudhomme and Inash seems to have paid off. They're moving out on the Ukrainians. I'm not sure the Ukrainians have got a second half to answer that. Have the other crews.
Huge push here. We see desperation on the faces of the Ukrainians looking across as Romania pushing out to 7-metre boat length lead over the rest of the field. This is a huge push from the Romanians in this third quarter.
Yeah, big move from the Romanians. They've got that big lead. As you say, it's the Ukrainians and the Australians who are second and third. But it'll be a massive move for them to come on now and challenge the Romanians. So in many ways, it would have to come from somewhere else. Perhaps the Estonians?
Australia have medalled in the men's quadruple scull at the last 3 Olympic Games, so this will be absolutely gutting if they can't get that qualifying position for the Olympics. But the Romanians, what a huge move. They're having an amazing regatta, the Romanian team.
Yeah, up with the British and up with the Dutch crews. The Romanians have been flying, and at the moment it's catch me if you can. The men from the double in the stern, and then Chiruta and Cornea up in the bows have gone with them. They've matched every move. They almost have clear water on the field. Everyone's closing up now in the race for second.
The race for second, but a massive move for the Romanians here. They've had a huge second 1,000. I think if anyone's going to challenge them, it's going to be the Estonians. But will they have the strength and power that they had in their youth to be able to close this gap?
It's 300 metres to go, and Romania have clear water. I don't think that anyone's going to catch them here. There's a race going on at the back of the field. These boats are all locked together.
Yeah, the crews all locked together. My eyes drawn towards the top of the screen. We've got Norway. We haven't really mentioned them over in lane 2. They're trying to work their way back into it. It's Estonia who are looking clearly in second, but surely it's too far for them to come back through the sprinting Romanians, who are up at 43 strokes a minute now and well in sight of our position.
Yeah, Estonia are charging. They are in second place as they come past us. Australia, I think, out of it now. They won't catch them. But Marian Inash, cool as you like, put the hammer down in the third quarter. The Romanian stroke man, Jon Prudhomme, provided the power from the 3-seat, the cohesion, and Antonio Colominici, once again, the maestro has done it. Romania grabbed another qualifying place for Paris by clear water ahead of Estonia. The veteran Tony Hendrickson lies down in the boat. America and Norway well up there for the minor places in the last of today's B final.
But this fantastic regatta continues for the Romanians, qualifying that boat, grabbing hold of that qualifying position along with their 4. I mean, I guess they would want to be in the A finals and claiming the medals, but as it is, this is all they can fight for. You can only win the race you're in, and the Romanians have solidly taken that last qualifying place for Paris. You can see how much it hurt the Estonians. Sarah, the Australians were brave. They made 9th place.
Yeah, they'll be pretty gutted with that result.